good, you two? Welcome back to the Shooter Straight podcast. It's episode 3. I'm your co-host, Zach.
And I'm Blue.
Man, damn, this shit has just been crazy. The support so far has just been unreal, I would say. You know, it's been better than I could have ever imagined. Man, I really appreciate everyone, family, friends, even people that I don't personally know, you know, reaching out and letting us know their thoughts, their opinions. Liking, subscribing, showing love in the comments and on Instagram, TikTok, all the social media. Man, it's been great. Man, we're going to keep running it up. And I know I'm just happy. And I know, Blue, you're probably happy as well.
Yeah, of course. We love to see the comments and the reposts and to get to see everyone's ideas on what we talk about.
Yeah, it's just been great. And we're always implementing people's ideas and thoughts. You know, we're always open ears. So, man, keep it going in the comments. And you know, we're going to keep running it up. Keep running up the follows and the subscriptions and all that, and we're going to keep running up the content. So with that being said, last episode was just crazy. Appreciate the support on the last episode, but the recording process for last episode, we'll speak on it a little bit, was just crazy. Maybe you want to touch on it.
Oh, yeah. Everything was crazy. We just had a whole technical difficulty with the mics, but we're sure that this episode is going to be A-okay.
Yeah, we had to actually, you know, re-record that episode, and then we had to get the video back and recover the file, and we lost the file. It was a whole process, but we were just glad we were able to put something out for y'all. Hopefully, the audio quality is better this time, because last episode it wasn't as good, but this time everything should be perfect. So moving forward, we should be all good. So with all that being said, man, let's get straight into these music topics. Takeoff and Quavo been in the news. Maybe the whole Migos have been in the news because this Friday, Unk and Few, they're called now. Unk and Few drops a new single called Hotel Lobby. Unk and Few is the new duo name of Takeoff and Quavo. You know, I know you're one of the biggest Migos fans I've ever known, so I have to get your opinion.
Yeah, and for all you that know me, you know, I've been a big Migos fan since high school days, so I can't believe it.
So what do you have to say? We'll get to the song itself, but what do you have to say about the whole Takeoff and Quavo thing, Offset unfollowing? What do you have to say about all that?
I feel it has something to do with, like, Cardi B and him wanting to live his lifestyle, like, outside of the Migos' brand.
Mm-hmm.
However, though, I feel like he should pay tribute to where he has garnished his success from.
You're talking about Offset, so you think Offset should be handling it differently?
Yeah, and he should be more, like, involved with the music. Don't get me wrong, he has a personal life, and he has kids.
Yeah.
However, though, he should be involved with his original passion that he had.
That's not to say like you're saying he's just like with the Migos, but I mean that's not to say he still could be recording music. Maybe just not with Takeoff and Quavo.
Yeah, but then again, that's true. But then he should be recording more music with Takeoff and Quavo.
So do you think it's like they just have like a personal beef? You know, like something came between them, and then Takeoff and Quavo, they're kind of good, so they're riding off as Unk and Few, and Takeoff or Offset's gonna go do his own thing. What do you make of that?
Like I said, I believe it's just the lifestyle that Offset's living. I think he's gonna be more involved in music, and Quavo and Takeoff, they're still gonna be involved. So like, they were just like, hey, we're gonna set us apart. We're gonna just be a duo, but I don't know if it's gonna last. People are saying it's a whole like publicity stunt just to get like the hotel lobby and the single and the views up, but
the top 100.
Yeah, but I don't know. I know Quavo's a serious man, so I know there's something else behind it. He wouldn't just like change his whole name of the Migos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's weird because like for them to like, I think it's weird because like no one has really spoken on it, and you know when it's like 3 personalities such as the Migos, you would think, you know, some information would slip out if it was real beef. You know what I mean? Like you would think like information slips out into the public so easily with everything. So for this to not like slip out, it makes it seem like there's just something going on behind the scenes. I don't know. At first, when I first heard about it, obviously like they paint the picture and they make it out to be like there's a beef, blah blah blah. But I think when you go and you look more into it, you know, is it coincidental that they're doing all this and the song is coming out? I don't think it's a coincidence. Is it a coincidence that they've all been speaking on dropping their own individual solo projects after Culture 3, which just dropped last year? And ultimately, the summer is coming up, and I know QC is probably going to want to have an active summer, and QC cannot have an active summer without the Migos being active, because QC is the Migos and Lil Baby. You know, they got some other artists on there, but let's be real, that's who they got. That's their people. So you can't have a hot QC summer if the Migos aren't active. You know what I mean? That includes them individually and as a group. So I don't think it's a coincidence that all of this is going on at the same time. So I'm leaning publicity stunt. You know what I mean? These guys are smart businessmen who've come up, you know, off of what they've come up off of. I don't think they're going to make some little Hollywood beef get in between them like that. You know what I mean? They've been through too much. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. Do you think they'll make it this obvious, though?
I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean this obvious?
If it is a publicity stunt, like, being in their shoes, would they just do that and then, like, just call it a publicity stunt? You know what I'm saying? And then do that, and then, like
some would, like you're saying, some would say this is an obvious publicity stunt.
Exactly, but I don't. If you're in their shoes, I feel like you're not doing that.
But at the same time,
you're making more smarter moves.
You could make the argument that this is like the smart move, because keep in mind we're talking about it, and we're not the only people talking about it. So a lot of people are talking about the Migos that not necessarily we're talking about the Migos before this whole rumor started. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Would we be talking about the Migos right now? Would we even be talking about this song right now if it weren't for this whole beef? I don't know. Because it was a good song. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Migos fan, so obviously I'm going to like the song. I thought it was a good song. I'm going to like it regardless if there was a beef or not. But would the song do as good in terms of the views, the charting, all of that without this whole thing? I don't think so, because the Migos, they're the types of artists now, unfortunately, that they're not going to get those huge numbers without something else behind them. They can't just do it on their own. They're going to need a beef. They're going to need some kind of public thing going on in the media.
That's not true.
They didn't even sell #1 with Culture 3. And you know I love that album. I'm not even hating on the Migos. I'm just being real.
They could make a poppin' single, poppin' feature, get back into the game.
Sure they could. But it's just, they just don't have, like, people are just fucking with the younger generation now. Like Migos, like it's just in terms of the hottest of the hot. Like, I'm not saying Migos aren't hot. For sure. Because they did sell over 100K. That's a lot of people do not do that. We were just talking about, like, on previous episodes, talking about how people are selling 10K, 8K. You know what I mean? 100K is a lot. They didn't go #1, but that's only because Polo G dropped a very highly anticipated album the same week. So you have to keep that kind of stuff in mind. Let's not say the Migos, they're doing decent for themselves, obviously. You know what I mean? But they're not as hot as they used to be. You know what I mean? And it's just what it is.
Of course.
So I think it makes sense that they're doing this whole publicity stunt thing that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes sense. But the real question is, do you think, if this continues, if let's say Quavo and Takeoff drop an album, what are your expectations for this album? If it happens, as a duo, do you think Quavo and Takeoff can be successful?
I think Quavo and Takeoff can be successful. I think they could do it on their own. I just feel like it's not going to be as strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be, like, as authentic.
Mm-hmm.
People are looking for, like, the Migos.
Yeah. I think, what?
So if it's not all of them, it's just, I don't know. And, like, the mindset and the thought process behind the album is going to be different, too. So.
Yeah. And maybe things will just be done differently because Offset's not there.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe, like, we don't know how things are behind the scenes, but I know Offset being the oldest probably just have a little bit of respect over maybe the other two in some ways and aspects. So with him not being there, how does the dynamic change of them two? There's just a lot of different things to consider. But I think they could be successful. But I think what is going to hold them back ultimately, if they do continue to do this little duo thing, is the fact that they've obviously have so much music out as the Migos. Everyone knows them as the Migos. Even though they know them individually, they know them as a collective as well. Every single good song they've released, people are going to say Offset would have snapped on this. They're going to say, oh, this song would have been even better if Offset was on there. Because the expectation...
Vice versa.
because the expectation has always been that like he will be on there. If you have Quavo and Takeoff, you're probably gonna have Offset on there too. So every single song that comes out, Quavo and Takeoff, it's gonna be like, dang, I wish I could have heard Offset on this song because he probably would have slid on this beat. It's the same thing. Like for example, Bad and Bougie, no Takeoff. Would Takeoff have slid on that beat? Probably, but he wasn't on there. You know what I mean? Do we wish we had him on there? I don't know because the song was a hit. It was a great song. Didn't need him. I don't know. But there's no denying that he would have slid. You know what I'm saying? And I think every single song that comes out as this whole Unconfused thing is gonna get the same conversation talking about Offset. You know, he would have slid on this, and I think that's what's ultimately gonna hold them back.
Yeah, and people are questioning Takeoff's ability. They're saying that he's underrated.
I think he's underrated. I think he's been underrated for a long time. And I just saw a tweet from what's the head of QC's name? You probably know it. The head of QC.
QCP. Yeah,
QCP. Yeah, P. Yeah, QCP. He just tweeted.
I think the other one's name is Coach K.
Yeah. Okay. It was QCP who just tweeted it. He just tweeted it. It was maybe yesterday or a few days ago when the song dropped, and he said, "Takeoff he has the potential, and he's like saying he still does have the potential. He could have been the biggest in the music game, but he don't take it as serious. Like he's just naturally good at it, but he don't take it as serious as the other two. And I think that shows in terms of like Takeoff has the ability. We all know that. Like his solo project didn't sell as well as Quavo and Offset because he hasn't marketed himself as well as the other two. So I think that's what makes him underrated per se.
He just hasn't had that hit.
But he could have had that hit though. I feel like he could have had that hit. Like there's nothing stopping him from having that hit.
He just hasn't had that hit.
But when you have the capabilities of Offset, not only the talent but the features you can get. Like this guy knows everybody. There's nothing stopping him from having a solo hit.
I know he has the talent. However, I'm just saying especially by himself. Quavo, Offset, they've all had a hit where they're featured or they're by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Takeoff,
and
really hasn't had that.
Exactly, but why is that? I don't understand why that is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The body of work for Takeoff is not really there. Besides, like how many solo Takeoff songs have we even got? Like not really any.
Maybe like P said, he's just not taking it as seriously. So imagine if he were to do more features.
And imagine like the only thing I can imagine is like he probably doesn't even go to the studio without Quavo and Offset even being there. So like that's why we never get solo songs, because like he's every single time he's in the studio he's with one of them making a song.
Facts.
So like every single time a verse is being spit by Takeoff, he's with Quavo, so Quavo's gonna be on that song or Offset's on that song. You know what I mean? So like maybe he needs to go to the studio by himself more. I don't know. Maybe he needs. I'm not gonna question Takeoff because he's fine. He's doing fine in life regardless. But I feel like he could have done more. You know what I mean? Because maybe you could argue in terms of pure rapping ability, he might be the most talented out of the three.
He still can.
He still can. And QCP said it. He still can if he wants to. I don't know. But if he hasn't done it yet, I don't see why he would. I'm not gonna lie. Because I mean, how long have they've been in the game? A long time.
Yeah, and he's getting into crypto now. And
like he's just doing other things. I feel like he's gonna keep rapping. Obviously, he's gonna keep doing music, but I don't see him doing anything more solo. More, you know what I mean? He might like do a little bit, but I don't see too much of that for Takeoff in the future.
Sure.
So, in other releases this week, we had. Well, obviously, this weekend, besides the music release, it was a legend's birthday. A GOAT, Biggie. Happy birthday to Biggie. Rest in peace. It was his 50th birthday, and because of his 50th birthday, his estate released a song called GOAT, featuring Ty Dolla $ign and Bella Alubo. I think it was actually a reused verse. It wasn't even like a new verse, like it was like just a reworked song. I don't really know much of. I don't know. I listened to the song. I don't really know much about his unreleased catalog or anything like that. But it always brings up the question because I saw a lot of people hating on the song, on social media talking about it was disrespectful and that these posthumous releases need to change how they work. Who's behind them and things like that. So you know, we're seeing more and more posthumous releases now than ever because unfortunately we're seeing more and more deaths early on in their careers than ever. So, you know, what is your opinion on what do you think? How do you think people should be dealing with these posthumous releases?
Make sure the quality's there before you release it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm not a big fan if they, I can't remember the song that well, but if they did use a Biggie verse that was already released,
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of that.
yeah, exactly. And I'm not a big fan of that either. I don't know if that's 100% the case. It could have been one verse that was reused and one verse that was new. I saw one tweet about it, and it could. I don't really know if it was. I don't know much about his released and versus unreleased, so I don't know. But if that is the case, then I definitely don't agree with that. But I don't know. These posthumous releases it's tough. Yeah, I find it hard because like part of me says I want the music to come out, but part of me doesn't want their legacy to be tarnished because something comes out that shouldn't have came out because the quality wasn't there. And so it's about finding that balance. You know what I mean? I feel like it depends artist to artist.
I feel like we as fans believe that the quality's not there because we believe that the artist, if they were alive,
Could have done better.
However, like they just the label and the people that are there just have to work what they have.
Yeah,
Work with what they got.
and people say one of the things I don't like is they go out like people they always hate on the labels for the way that, you know, they call them money grabbers, blah blah blah. And I've been there, and they obviously they want the money. Don't get me wrong, that you know that's part of it, but they are just working with what they got, and that you can say like they shouldn't be releasing music, but fans are wanting music to come out. Why would they not release the music? You know what I mean? Say what you want. I want new Juice WRLD music to come out. I want new King Von music to come out. I want Pop Smoke music to come out because I feel like if anything, it just honors their legacy. I don't feel like necessarily it tarnishes their legacy unless they're saying something bad in the song or if the song itself is like it's literally unfinished. If the song if the song is pretty much finished, I believe it should come out.
I think that happened with the case with there was a song back in the day when X passed. It released with Quavo and Trippy. It was like Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
That was fire.
Yeah, like if the song was pretty much finished, like if it was, let's say it was a finish with the feature, like obviously it should come out. If it was a fully finished 3-minute song or 2-minute song, whatever, with full verses, it should come out because, you know, like unless it was like a song he intended to keep for himself, it was a tribute song for like his girlfriend, that happens.
That's another thing. What if the artist never wanted the song to come out and then the label's like, hey, we got to release this because a bunch of fans are requesting it? I'm not for that.
That does happen. Sometimes like an artist, like he'll preview a snippet and he'll be like, oh, this is a tribute song. Like, for example, I'm not going to say like they don't always want to release those songs, but Juice, like he had a tribute song for his dad. He previewed when his dad died and stuff like that. And those end up becoming fan, like the songs that they want the most because they end up being fire because the artist is putting their soul into that song.
Yep, of course.
Like obviously those tribute songs end up being the most fire. And oftentimes those are the ones that don't come out because those are the ones that have the most meaning to these artists. So it's really tough, you know. I don't know. I believe like if the artist doesn't have an intention of releasing the song, they should not release a snippet on social media. I think that's the worst thing they could do. Because if you're not going to release the snippet, all they're going to do is just beg for that snippet over and over and over. I've seen it over and over.
Then again, though, it could be them just chilling, hanging out, and then they post on Instagram the song. They're not purposely, intentionally posting the snippet.
But they know what they're posting. Like, if you know you don't want that song to come out, and you know your fans are going to be like, damn, what's that song in the background? What's that snippet?
It's a mistake by them.
But it's just as easy just to go and play one of your own songs that's already come out, or be like...
Just switch the song.
Or just switch the song to someone else's song, or just play some shit off your new album. Or whatever. Just play something that you actually have an intention of releasing. Because, like, the worst thing is just these getting a bunch of fire snippets that never come out. That I hate it. That's my biggest pet peeve in this whole music thing of being a fan.
Facts.
You know, and a lot of the times, the only times you get the songs that you want is when they pass away. Like, I've gotten a lot of the Juice songs that I've wanted when he previewed them because of the leaks, obviously, which we've heard some of them. And then some of the songs have only released because he passed away, and the label dropped them because they're fire. So it's tough. It's really, this whole posthumous thing, it's like real 50-50 for me. Like, it's real tough. I don't really know the best way to handle it. It's just like, I feel like you just got to handle it on a case-by-case basis. You know what I mean? But I feel like Mac Miller does a does a good job of doing it. They're real respectful about it.
Nice.
I feel like Lil Baby might need to. I don't know. Lil Baby, like, he kind of needs to, like, just be more quiet with how he does it with the whole Juice WRLD thing. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I think Bibby, he's just too active with it, and then that community is just too crazy. You know what I mean? Just be chill. You know what I mean? That's the only way. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the only thing you can do.
For sure.
Speaking of posthumous releases, we got True Love XXX with Kanye coming out this Friday, which is, I didn't think we'd ever get any more X music, to be honest. I thought he was done. So, I don't know.
No, I think it's more like a Juice WRLD thing. I think X was in the studio a lot, and I think there's just so much music that it's going to keep on coming.
But I'm pretty sure they've already released like 4 albums worth of X. Like, I thought they had nothing left. I know with Juice, they got like 2,000, 3,000 songs left.
Something crazy.
Sure. I saw, like, didn't Bibby talk about it in the interview? It was like
interview.
It was like 3K songs or something. It's crazy that they got left, you know, that we haven't even heard probably thousands of them. It's just crazy how much he worked. I don't know if X worked quite as much. I don't know how much we got left. I didn't think we had nothing left. Were you a big fan? We never really talked about it outside of this.
I listen to his music not often, but if someone were to play it, I wouldn't say skip the song or anything. I would definitely listen to it.
So how do you feel about True Love with Kanye? It's off that Donda 2. I saw the Donda 2 event in Miami, so I saw them perform the song I saw him perform that song live at the thing. It was pretty cool. But now it's actually coming out on Friday.
So you heard the song, or?
Yeah, like he's, I don't know if it's the same version of the song, but he previewed the song like I was saying, he previewed it at the Donda 2 event.
Verse?
Yeah, and it's on the stem player too. But like
is it like catchy, or?
It's like it's kind of just like him singing like true. Like, I'm not gonna sing on the mic obviously, but like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to the viewers. But it's kind of catchy, but Kanye's pretty much spitting on it, and it's kind of just like a little bit of X, you know, like True Love, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay.
That's kind of what it is. It's just a little X thing, but I think anytime you hear X's voice, it just kind of touches you a little bit, just because it's so unfortunate what happened.
Well, you know me, I love lyricism, so I'll be waiting to see if there's good lyrics on there.
Yeah. Speaking of good lyrics, Moneybagg Yo.
I was gonna say, are you ready to shoot it straight into the question of maybe CMG becoming, or maybe being, the #1 label heading into the summer?
Are you? So I don't know if they're the #1 label right now, but if you're asking me, they're up there for sure.
Top 3
in the game, right? Well, you know, when you don't have YSL in there, like we talked about last episode, you know, it changes up things. I don't even know. YSL could have been it was probably in my top 3 very easily. Now they're not even in existence anymore, pretty much. So
you got CMG. Remember, we're talking about labels as a whole.
Yeah, I think with what CMG have been doing recently, I think.
Then with Quality Control and the Migos,
I think they're top 5.
And the Migos breaking up, with Quality Control.
Yeah, well, I mean, CMG is definitely feeling even though QC got Migos and they got Lil Baby, you know, CMG they're building something for the future. I feel like CMG is just building on the right foundation in terms of where they're going as a label, and obviously they have one really hot artist with Bag who's cemented himself in the game, who we'll talk about his new album coming up in a second here. But
I think Yo Gotti's album did numbers.
Did it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did numbers.
Did it?
Yeah.
Like what? Like 60K probably?
Yeah, over 60K, I'm pretty sure.
So that's pretty decent numbers for Gotti.
And it had the Bag single.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
The single with Bag,
yeah. Yeah, so CMG is definitely doing
Black Youngsta hasn't dropped a tape in a while. Besides, I believe Code Red with Moneybagg Yo was his last one. And that was a banger.
Didn't I just played you that song of the new tape he dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Stop Sign with Shiesty and Big 30. I didn't listen to the whole tape, though.
Oh, yeah.
But that, like I said, that's them kind of talking about. That's why they kept talking about CMG summer starting up.
Just came out, right?
It just came out.
So we'll see
how the numbers do on it. It just dropped this week, the same week. Yeah, so we'll see how it sells. But yeah, CMG summer. You know, how did you feel about Rocky Road with Bag and Kodak as the single for his album?
Oh yeah, that was fire.
Yeah, that was fire. It was fire.
It was crazy fire.
Obviously, and I just played you the snippet off of the new. He's dropping a new song this Friday.
If he's messing with Florida artists, man, he got to do a song with Hot Boy.
Hot Boy.
He has
to do a song with Hot Boy.
I know he has a song with 42 Doug and Hot Boy and who's the other?
I really with Doug Bag and Hot Boy.
Hot Boy, but they need to do another collab.
They do for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I don't know what to expect in terms of the features on. I don't even know the new name of the album. He hasn't announced it yet. But whatever the new album is for Bag, I don't know what to expect on it.
If Kodak's on there more than once, then is
it like a Kodak Summer?
Is it a Kodak Summer?
It might be a Kodak Summer. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, that's crazy.
Because but think about it. What summer has been bad that's been a Kodak Summer?
It's been a while.
It has been a while, but it wasn't a bad. I know anytime Kodak is taking over the summer, it's gonna be a good summer.
Facts.
So if it's a Kodak Summer, that's fine with me. I think. But in terms of Bag, what are your expectations for his new album that's coming out?
Oh, it's gonna go number one.
For sure.
I don't know, depending on who's dropping that week, but I highly anticipate it going number one for sure.
But so I think his last album sold 120.
Yeah.
So do you think it's gonna sell more?
Oof.
More than 120?
Yeah, because the promo behind it's serious. I know it's gonna be serious.
He's already started it.
That's what I'm saying. So
he started it pretty early too. So he's like he dropped a single last week. He dropped a single this week. Realistically, there's a chance. I'm not gonna say this is but realistically, if he dropped a song last week and he's dropping a song this week, he might drop the damn album next week.
Possibly, but
I don't think he would do it at such short notice. But he probably might drop it at the end of this month, I feel like, or right before Lil Baby drops, which we'll talk about in a second later on in the podcast. Talk about Lil Baby dropping.
Let's talk about who we personally waiting to drop, because like we said, we know hopefully Moneybagg Yo drop soon.
Oh, so I mean, I'm obviously
We'll go back.
Baby, you know what I mean? Uzi, I'm definitely waiting on. Uzi, I've been waiting on for too damn long. I don't know why that little midget loves taking so long to drop albums, but I just can't wait much longer because all he does is drop these damn snippets.
I gotta see him in person, man. I gotta go to a concert.
Uzi?
Yeah, I gotta go to a concert.
Yeah, you go.
Because I know they get wild.
No, we gotta go. The next time we get the chance, we'll definitely have to go.
For sure.
But because I got to see him in Rolling Loud like 3 years ago now, and it was crazy. And that was right before he dropped EA. And he was like, he announced it, and he was like, y'all ready for me to drop this album? And then he never did for like another year. He was capping again. I was super hyped. That's just Uzi's thing. But besides Uzi,
Nav.
Yeah,
We've
Nav
been
for
waiting
sure.
for Nav to drop for a minute.
Bro, and we it's funny because we've been talking about this. This is the question that
He's another slept on artist.
We quote, and we'll get to that. But I wanted to pose this question because this is something we've posed before. But how long do you think an artist like Nav should be taking between dropping an album? Because Nav is like the average artist per se. You know what I mean? Nav he's not no Kendrick Lamar who can take 5 years. You know what I mean? So how long should Nav?
What he's doing, like 2 years max.
Yeah, max. I feel like this is already too long.
Exactly, and he hasn't had that many features or anything like that.
Nah,
no
what is he doing?
Or anything.
Nav, if you're watching this, I gotta know what are you doing? Where's the music? Where is it?
He's in the stew. He says he's in the stew.
I think that's cap.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you don't know. You don't know. We don't know. Maybe he comes out with a fire banger album and just comes up with a bunch of features. But comes out with a bunch of features with a bunch of hot artists like Travis Scott.
Yeah, that's what he always
Baby.
does. Yeah, I mean, you know, Nav gonna get the features.
The fire features.
Bro, Nav, bro, like Lil Baby, Future, like these artists give Nav the greatest features of all time.
Because they know
Nav is hard.
Great.
They know Nav hard. And like
just doesn't get his flowers.
And I feel like some of that is because these other artists do so great with him that he almost gets a little bit outshone. Not because he's even doing bad.
Exactly.
Just because like these other guys are doing so great. Because he brings it out of them, I feel like Nav, he be sliding, he be maybe inspiring these artists to go even harder.
Emergency Tsunami,
like
that was fire.
people need to give Nav his flowers, not only as as an artist but a producer because
for sure.
he did his shit as a producer with
Back
Drake
to back.
back to back. I mean, and I'm pretty sure
one of the greatest diss tracks of all time,
if not the greatest. You know, some would say the greatest.
Facts.
I don't know if I would agree with that, but there's definitely some great ones. But I think I saw Nav was working on some of the production for his next album, like he's doing his own production. So if that's the case, I love that. I think that's going to be great. Like, if Nav is going to take this long, he has to deliver.
I think Tsunami was produced with him and Weezy.
Yeah. Weezy, I mean, we all know Weezy. That's a GOAT. I'm
trying to see Nav work with Metro, man. It's been a little minute.
It's been too long.
It's been a minute since Nav worked with Metro.
They keep teasing it. Perfect Timing 2. They've been teasing it for too long, and they just have not. It's never come to fruition. I don't know why. But in terms of other underrated rappers, I mean, do you consider like No Cap underrated?
Not necessarily. He's getting his flowers as it goes. However, though the album didn't sell.
But like,
which is
Nav sells more than No Cap, and we're saying Nav is underrated. No Cap isn't. I don't know. Nav has went number 1 like 3 times in a row, I think.
But it's just like No Cap kind of like, I wouldn't say he flopped, but I mean like the album just didn't. Didn't sell.
I don't know if he necessarily flopped as much as
because I know the album was good. It was hard. It just didn't sell.
But like he's never even like sold. Like I think this album sold the most out of any of his other albums. So it's like he's still on the come up.
But
it just didn't go. It didn't do as much
like
as we expected.
How much Vaccine, like the song right. Vaccine streamed and stuff like that. We were projecting way bigger numbers.
Maybe 40, 50K, and he got
30.
At
least, and he got like 38, 30.
Yeah, I mean it's disappointing, but at the same time, being with YB and all that does kind of hurt him a little bit. I don't know if it totally messes up his playlisting and all that. Like I don't know if he's necessarily getting blackballed as people always like to call it, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. I mean, I don't even know off the top of my head any of the other underrated rappers, but I mean, I do know my boy Young Mo.
And then we were gonna talk about worst mainstream artists. I know you wanted to discuss French Montana. Yeah,
because we saw. I was on YouTube and I saw French Montana dropped a new song.
Did you take a listen to it?
You know, I always tell you that I like to listen to everything.
Of course.
Because I say, how am I going to give my opinion on something if I don't listen to it? And I think that's true. So I try to go into every song with an open mind. Like I actually showed you that French Montana song with Kodak. Remember what was that thing called? Mop Stick.
Yeah.
It was all right. But that's like
Kodak carried.
Kodak, you know what I mean? Exactly. So I click on this French song, and I think the soul just left my body. I just felt energy. I had no energy left after listening to this song. French just sucked it out of me. French sucked the soul right out of me. Pause. But
he's just not. He just wasn't it.
The song was ass. French
last tape sold like 15K.
I don't even know how he's selling 15K, but maybe he should be selling no K. He should be going 2K jewelers. He's probably like getting an job application. Every kiss begins
turning in all his jewelry.
He's about to go be doing the K Jewelers new theme song, French Montana. Every kiss begins with K. You know what
I mean? Nah, he's well respected in the industry. It's just he's just not good. His body is of work, especially so.
Rick Ross put him on.
It's just not.
Rick Ross did the best move in history. Like getting French Montana on, bro. Rick Ross, I don't know how he did it.
However, we were speaking of Young Mo earlier. Now he is fire, and he has the same flow
as French.
He has the same flow,
but he makes it fire.
He just is way better, and he kind of looks like him too. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Young Mo, man, one of the most underrated rappers in the game.
Got that Kevin Gates feature. You know, he's putting up some.
Got that No Cap feature.
He's coming up in the game. He's gonna probably be selling better than French in a year. Not even.
I think he'll sell better than that last No Cap album.
You think Young Mo?
Young Mo, if you are listening to this right now, just know that you are fire and you are on your way. Keep going.
Yeah, we gotta get Young Mo. If we gotta get Young Mo for that interview, we gotta get that
For sure.
We got to get that. So.
Oh, and another underrated rapper before we go into it, Montana 300. I personally think, and I know you want to discuss this as well, he might have had album of the year, definitely so far. Montana of 300.
Definitely, like, underrated for sure. Like, that's not a doubt. You know, we listened to that album. You know, we listened to Rap God. You know what I mean? We heard the body of work.
Had what, about 25 songs on there, and about every single one of them were
just
bangers.
You know what I mean? Like, the lyricism is there, the bars, like it's
the
just,
flow.
It's just, you got it. Like,
he's got more of a mainstream flow now.
I would agree with that. It's
compared to his older body of work.
And I don't know how that hasn't translated to more like
sales. It's so crazy.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's weird how that hasn't happened.
There wasn't enough promotion.
Why is that the case? I don't know.
Because he's by himself. Remember that he doesn't have a label behind him, and he raps about it.
Yeah,
but never sold his soul.
But at the same time, even as an independent artist, like, you can still push yourself and stuff like that. I feel like Montana, with the talent, he could have done more, even as just independent.
Again, bro, he just hasn't. You have to have this.
I think it's disappointing. I just think it's disappointing.
Of course it's disappointing, but you have to have the initial, like, success. Like Dolph. Remember Dolph with his independent label. Like, he had, like, so many hits and so much success within the music industry to be able to promote the, like, Key Glock and, like, the artist that he had.
And even Dolph, like as an independent artist, like, when he would drop a tape, wasn't selling the crazy numbers because he just couldn't.
Yeah, but he was selling high for independent. He
was selling the most out of any independent.
Of course.
Like, PRE was putting on for all independent. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. But putting on is like $30K. Because, like, independent artists don't really sell more than that.
But then again, they're keeping 100% of the profits.
Yeah, so that's why, like, $30K for independent is crazy. Because, like, $30K as for a label artist, like, let's just be real. I don't know about, like, depends on the contract, but it's probably not cutting it.
Yeah, put way more on the radio.
And you're still only doing $30K.
You're getting put in the playlist on Spotify. That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing.
All these music playlists.
That's the biggest thing. People don't know, like, all of that playlisting and stuff like that is all decided by the labels. Like, that's why I personally just listen to, like, my own library, because, like, the playlisting is, like, them feeding that you, like, they're literally force feeding you this music. Like they're forcing it on you to listen to it. Like when you have to go out and find your stuff and who you actually enjoy, you like them a lot better. When it's just force feed you, I don't want to be force fed to listen to Logic music or force fed to listen to whatever the label is pushing. You know what I mean? If it's ass, I'm not listening to it.
Facts, and not to say Logic is cheeks, but
Logic is that. I'll say it.
Ooh, you'll say it?
I'll say it. He's ass.
You're lying.
Come on, bro.
Not musically gifted at all.
It just doesn't translate to the rap game. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's not like it's like Jack Harlow. Like, you can, like, talented maybe, but does it always translate to the game? Like,
not really.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't always translate. You know what I mean? That's not to say he's not talented though.
Yeah, man. Definitely album of the year, Montana of 300. Whew.
So obviously, we're speaking about Montana being underrated. Do you have him carrying 2022 so far?
So far, however, look, I mean, carrying, like, personally for me, yeah, sure. But overall, like, for everybody else, probably not.
No?
Right now. Now, then again, he said he's dropping new music.
Yeah, he did say he's dropping new music.
Who knows? He could gain some traction.
Yeah. So who's carrying 2022 for you so far then?
For me, like I said, it's definitely him. But overall, like, for everybody else, I know it's probably going to be Bag.
Bag?
Wait. Yeah. Whoever drops first, probably, bro.
Damn, out of Bag or who?
Bag or who else is dropping? It's just pretty much Bag, bro. He might carry the summer. Oh,
Baby.
Again, we were talking about Kodak.
Baby. Bro, Baby?
Kodak?
Bro, Baby's album from 2020 is still doing some of the best numbers out of any album, including the new albums that are dropping today. You know what I'm saying? Like, My Turn is still putting up crazy numbers.
But yeah, you're right. And Baby is dropping, right?
June. He hasn't announced the exact date, but it's going to be in the month of June. He announced that. So, like,
we'll see.
I mean, and I was actually going back and re-listening to some of Baby's old work, and, like, This album's gonna be crazy.
I feel like it's gonna be whoever puts in the most work though, because like I said, it might be a Kodak summer if Kodak drops another hot tape and he has a bunch of features more than Baby, and we're literally listening and hearing him more on the radio, whatever.
I feel like Baby though, like once Baby gets going in the summer, like because Baby's album, let's be like he's gonna have some hits on it because like he's gonna have some solo hits because it's just Baby. Drake feature, instant hit. Future feature's probably gonna be instant. Like you're just gonna like you start naming the hits on this thing. Like it's just like, I mean, name the misses off of a Baby album in general. Like Baby drops 20 tracks. Like there's not gonna be that many misses, if
but
any.
Is he gonna be putting in the work? We're gonna have to see.
Besides the album, that remains to be seen. But
Exactly.
but you know, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's definitely gonna be between those three probably in terms of who's carrying 2022.
Personally, for you so far though, we never discussed it. Who has album of the year, song of the year even?
In terms of like the most like the mainstream success, like or mainstream success or like personal.
Both.
Mainstream success, like song of the year is probably like rap song of the year, probably like Super Gremlin or some shit like that because it's just
They dropped
good numbers.
22.
I think so. That I mean,
Might have been.
it had to have been 2022.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
So that's probably up there, and then like there's probably like First Class, like that's probably did some big numbers, and like oh Wait for You, Wait for You in general is probably song of the year because that's probably the best song that did numbers and is just like the good song.
For the mainstream, yeah, I can agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of that has both qualities because it's a good song and it's mainstream.
I can agree with that.
So like I'll give Wait for You song of the year. Like and I could honestly see that winning like a Grammy type shit. Like I could see it because you know anytime it has Drake on there,
Definitely some type of award.
And Future also is getting the mainstream success he deserves now. So I could see him winning definitely a couple awards for that type of song.
Yeah, it's been for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But and he's getting, like we talked about before, more and more numbers, so he's doing better and better. So I think he might have song of the year, and he's also in there for album of the year with that whole thing. I Never Liked You. He's in there.
Maybe.
We'll
see.
You don't think so? You don't think Future's in the album of the year contention right now?
Is he a contender? Maybe, but Baby, like you said, if he drops
When he drops, yeah. But I'm saying
so far.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah,
Because obviously it hasn't dropped.
I'm trying to think who else has dropped.
For us personally, maybe like No Cap or
Just Future.
pretty much. I mean, yeah. Yeah, because Kendrick dropped. You know, it's a good album, but for me personally, not album of the year. So, yeah, I think that what else is gonna come out the rest of this year is gonna be better than probably what's come out so far. I think it's not even been a bad 2022. It's not even been a bad year for music, but it'll get better. I feel like because Baby, Bag, Kodak, everyone's just dropping now.
For sure. I know everyone that's watching right now is probably ready to get into sports. So you ready?
Yeah, let's go straight into sports. I guess we'll just go straight with the conference finals.
Yep.
I think it'll be quick and easy to talk about Mavs and the Warriors because that series is as good as done. I'm about to go to sleep on it. Going to sleep on it mid podcast.
Is the game on?
The game 4 is tonight.
Yeah, it's tonight.
Tonight
right
as
now.
we record it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually 8:20. Yeah, it's about to start. I think right now. Yeah.
Nice.
As we're recording this, it's starting probably right now.
Yeah.
So
I honestly thought, like I said, Luka had a chance in Game 7. However, though, it's just the Warriors.
They're just a well-oiled machine right now, and not much is gonna stop them.
They got the experience. Luka said he has more
and
to
the
learn.
team. The role players on the Warriors are just better than the Mavs. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? And like Clay is the second best player on the Warriors, but he would also be the second best player on the Mavs. Dre would be probably the second best player on the Mavs. Jordan Poole might even be the second best player on the Mavs. So like the Warriors, besides Luka, the Mavs don't have like anyone else who would play for the Warriors.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, what's the Mavs move for next season? Dallas Mavericks.
They gotta keep building around Luka. I don't know if they can get a
Cuban.
star. I don't know if they can get that second star this summer. Like the free agents aren't really there, and who are they gonna trade for? You know what I mean? The Bradley Beal is always an option every summer, But are they going to get Bradley Beal? I think pairing up Bradley Beal and Luka could be fucking lethal. I think it could be really lethal. Because I mean, Beal is disgusting, and Luka obviously like Luka is just, we all know Luka. You know what I mean? Like, enough said about Luka.
Might need a big man though.
Yeah, but they've had a big man. They got Kristaps, and it didn't really work out between them. You know, it just didn't really click like that. You know, maybe they need a real big man.
Yeah, star.
Maybe DeAndre Ayton.
Maybe
they get because he might be leaving. But I don't think DeAndre Ayton is worth the money that he's requesting.
Ooh, that's true.
So then it becomes, is it worth it? You know, it's just going to be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Because he might look at it as he might be going on a championship team.
Yeah,
might work out a contract.
He was just on the Suns though, and which he could argue was a championship team. They just choked to Dallas. It would be interesting to see if he would make that move, because Phoenix choked to Dallas. So then will Ayton go to Dallas after losing? Like that's a KD move right there. That's the KD move right there. Well, so we'll see if he does that. But like, unfortunately, the series is just over. Like, there's not much to even say about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just over. The Warriors are going to be in the finals, and who are they going to play is the real question. You know what I mean?
Celtics.
East is wide open because it's currently 2-2. Celtics just dominated the Heat last night. Tatum bounced back after arguably the worst Game 3 performance I've ever seen out of a so-called superstar.
However, did you see though that Miami last night had like the worst performance from a starting five?
Ever. Exactly. So every single game in this series, it's just going back and forth of who's going to play bad. I think it's just the best of 3 at this point, because it's 2-2 out of a 7-game series. It's best of 3. The Celtics are going to have to win 2 out of 3, and they're going to have to win 1 in Miami. They're either going to have to win Game 5 in Miami or Game 7 in Miami to win this series. I think it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be tough for the Celtics, considering Smart is not going to be 100%. You can't rely, like, there's no way the Heat are going to have that kind of horrible offensive performance again. You can't say, like Strus has been playing good this whole series.
Is it fair to say, though, that Tatum won't have that horrible offensive performance again?
But every single but obviously in their wins, Tatum has been playing well. So I don't think Tatum is going to play bad, but I also don't think the Heat are going to play bad. I expect both to play well, actually. But I think when both play well, considering the things the Celtics have going against them in terms of home court, Marcus Smart injury,
is he out for the whole series?
Like that. I don't know if he's gonna I think they're taking it game by game, but I know the ankle injury in Game 3 was pretty bad, and he was able to somehow play, and then they choked, and then he didn't play in Game 4. They still won, but can they win 2 more games without Marcus Smart? I don't know. That's going to be tough.
Going back to the Warriors in Dallas, do you think Dallas is even going to win another game in the series?
No.
It's over. They're going to lose.
They'll probably just get swept.
Ooh.
Because they've been talking, like, already moving on the next season in the press conferences. You talked about it on Warzone, talking about how that was lame. You know what I mean? Like, and it's sad, but that's just what it is. Like, they moved on. You know what I mean? Like when you're down 3-0, like, you know. Like, you don't want them to, like honestly, I respect the honesty, because if I was in their position, I'd be like, it's over. In my head. I wouldn't say it publicly because it's not what you're supposed to say.
Facts.
But in my head, I would be like, bro, it's over. We're just going out. We're going out here just like.
I don't know.
Like, I would probably try to win that particular game, obviously, because I love the sport that I would play. Like, if it was soccer, I would try to win that game. But in the back of my head, I would be like, I still expect to lose this series. So, like, I'm not going to. You know what I mean? Because, like, you're down. You have to win 4 in a row against that Warriors team. Like, is it impossible? Like, let's say, God forbid, I don't want this to happen. But if Steph tore his ACL or he got injured or something and he's out now, the whole thing would change. So you don't want things like that to happen. It could happen. It could change things. But
Steph gets injured tonight, and then Dallas wins. And maybe Steph's out for the season. I mean, not for the season, but for the series.
Yeah, it could like I said, in sports, you never really know what could happen, but it's probably not going to happen.
And even if he gets injured,
they could they all they got to do is win one game.
They'll clutch up.
They would find a way and clutch up. So I think it's going to be
Warriors and
I'm picking the Heat still. I'm sticking with the Heat in 7.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sticking Heat in 7. I'm sticking with
the
my
Celtics, but either way, that's going to be a crazy outcome.
But-
and who do you think is going to win out of that?
But you have you have the chance right now to pick your games again. You know what I mean? You're picking Celtics in 7, do you think, or
Oh, if it's Celtics and Warriors?
if it's Celtics like in the Heat when they're playing the Heat?
Oh, yeah.
Celtics in
and
7?
Heat. Like I said, I still think the Celtics are going to win.
In
yeah.
6 or 7? Like, are they gonna win 2 in a row, or are they gonna just?
The Heat are looking good. They're looking good, more good than I thought they would, and before the series started. So I'm gonna have to say 7 if Tatum continues to have bad performances. However, I still believe it might be Game 6.
Okay, so
I know I was saying Game 5, but probably Game 6 now. Yeah.
yeah. So now we have the chance to preview what the finals could look like for both. You know what I mean? I guess I have to say the Warriors are already in there, so we can assume that. If it's Heat Warriors, like I think it will be, I think that benefits the Heat. Not gonna lie, I think the Heat have a good chance at winning that series if it does end that way.
Celtics. If it's the Celtics versus the Warriors,
I like the Celtics matchup as well. I think I'll go out on a limb here. Whoever wins out of the Celtics and the Heat will win the finals.
ooh,
Because I really do think both of these teams match up really good against the Warriors in terms of stopping them.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that. I got to think about that. You got Steph, you got Clay.
I think the Warriors have the experience and they have those big names, but I think the Heat, they have players that match up well against them. In the Heat, they have the best 3-point defensive team. They're the best 3-point defensive team in the whole NBA. They shoot the 3-ball pretty good. They play a type of slow-paced offense that can slow down the Warriors. When you take all those things into consideration, plus the coaching matchup of Steve Kerr versus Coach Spo. Steve Kerr is a great coach, but I trust Coach Spo over any coach in the league. You know what I mean? So like I think when you take all those things into consideration, plus the Heat would have home court.
I got Warriors, bro. Now let me tell you why. They just smoked Luka, bro. Smoked him.
Yeah.
And is he one of the best playoff performers ever?
The stats say yes.
So if you're smoking Luka in the playoffs,
But that's just Luka. The Heat are a whole team.
of course.
Luka is a great player. But the Mavs would lose to the Mavs would lose to the Heat.
They smoked the Suns.
The
bro.
Mavs would lose to the Heat in a 7-game series. So like the Heat are literally better than the Mavericks, I feel like.
But then again, like I was saying, the Mavs smoked the Suns, bro, and they were a great team.
But I feel like
not smoked,
but I think the Suns just capitulated because like the Suns, they just, you know how some teams they just choke. Yeah, like you just start getting in your head that Chris Paul is not gonna, like, you don't expect Chris Paul to play those types of bad performances and stuff like that. You don't expect Devin Booker to play like how he's playing. Like that, like
you can say the same thing about Jimmy Butler and the starting 5 the other night.
You don't expect that, yeah. You know exactly. So you don't expect that, and because you don't expect it, it doesn't happen often. That's the reason why you don't expect it. Like I expect Jimmy Butler to come back out in Game 5 in Miami against the Celtics.
Steph in the finals, though, bro. Steph and Clay in the finals, bro. They got the experience. The experience.
No home
there.
court, but they've always had home court in those finals that they've won.
Like I said, though, the experience is there.
They'd have to play a Game 7 away from home. Like, you know what I mean? I don't like their chances away from home on a
Jimmy
game.
Butler's hungry, though.
Exactly.
Hungry.
I feel like the Heat have championship pedigree because they got PJ Tucker and they got Coach Spo. They got Haslam.
They got the experience, and he's hungry.
Yeah, and I think they just match up well. Like I think that
Celtics as well. They match up well with the Warriors.
Marcus Smart would have Steph on lock, and Steph, great player obviously, and he's still playing good, but he hasn't been quite as good as the Steph we know and love. He's been like Steph is normally this good. He's been slightly under how good he normally is.
True, I can agree with that.
So, his performance has dipped slightly. So
you might turn up. Finals, bro, might turn up.
You could have, and that's a good point. He might. You never really know what you're going to get on a game-to-game basis. When you play the Warriors, they could be shooting good. They could be shooting bad. When you play these 3-point shooting teams, you don't know what you're getting.
Facts.
Because they could come out, and if you're playing Curry, and Curry is feeling it, you're losing. If he's feeling it when he shoots the rock and he's like, oh yeah, I'm making every shot right now, it's over.
It's over.
It's over. Like, it don't matter what you do. No, there's no defense. It don't matter. You put everyone on him. Put nobody on him. Put the bench on him. Throw stuff at him. Throw the Gatorade at him. It don't matter what you do. Put the security guard on him. There's nothing you can do.
He's completely changed the game.
He changed the game. There's nothing you can do to stop that man when he's hot. But the only thing you can do.
Back in the day, people used to. I remember Iman Shumpert was saying it. Back in the day, people used to just go for the rim, and now he's changed the game where people could just shoot from half court. It's crazy.
They'd just be shooting it from anywhere. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, I think that's why. I mean, I think Steph is gonna turn up in the finals, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Damn.
To beat Jimmy Butler, I just don't see it. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, though.
For sure, we'll have to wait and see. Now, I know you wanted to talk about Mbappe and soccer.
Yeah, because Mbappe, the biggest news maybe in the whole world this weekend, because he rejected Real Madrid, stayed at PSG. I was shocked because I was super convinced he was going to Real Madrid. You know, for me personally, I think he made a good move. I think staying at PSG was smart. I think anytime you get to play with Messi, you get to play with Neymar. You know, you're going to get to win those titles. You're going to get to build your own legacy. He's going to obviously be a hero there, and he's going to get to make personnel decisions. He gets to hire the coach. He's basically, he got full control of the team pretty much. He gets to pick everything. So why would you not stay?
You say that he's projected to be the best. He probably is the best player right now.
Mbappe is the best player in the world, no doubt. So I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he's doing his own thing because, like,
now, would you compare it to be like, is it like LeBron, like of basketball? I mean, LeBron of soccer.
Like this, like,
or
like
is it?
This is like
because I know this
decision is like when LeBron was on the Cavs and he was going to the Heat. This would be the equivalent of like LeBron staying with the Cavs back in the day.
I was gonna say because now, however, though, there's a lot more competitors for LeBron. Like people may not necessarily say that he's the number one player.
Mbappe he has some competition right now in terms of like young players around him. But, like, he's, like, for me, he's above and beyond anyone else. You know what I mean? There's only, like, a couple guys even close to him, in my opinion.
Name them.
Like obviously, like, you got, like, Messi and stuff like that, who's, like, the GOATs. You know what I mean? Like, but Mbappe right now is playing better than Messi. He's playing better than Ronaldo. It's, like, probably, in terms of the best players, like, the best young players in the world, it's, like, Mbappe and then Haaland, who just went to Man City. And then Pedri, you know, Vinicius. You know, I'm pretty sure they probably round out, you know, the top four. So it's like,
and I know what Ronaldo is one of the highest paid soccer players, so he might have highest paid players like athlete in the world.
Mbappe, he might overtake.
He might overtake that
because he just made so much money. It's unbelievable.
He'll be the highest paid athlete in the world. What do you got to say about that?
I think it'll be deserved. It'll be deserved. Like, the best soccer player in the world is always going to make the most money as the athlete. You know, Messi, like, and Ronaldo, they've been going back and forth on who makes the most money every single year. And I think the only year that it hasn't been them is when it's like Floyd Mayweather, when he would fight like a bunch of people, and obviously it's Floyd, so he's making a fucking killing. You know? He's making a killing. So, like, that's the only thing that can even compare to Mbappe. But I think he made the right decision. And I'm excited to see what he does this year with Messi and Neymar, and I'm excited to see what he does in the World Cup because I think he could.
I think LeBron might be the highest paid athlete though, if you include like endorsements and stuff like that.
If you include endorsements and stuff like that, LeBron is in the top 5.
Yeah, and the reason for that like is that like there's just not enough love for soccer in America. Do you see that changing?
Yeah, it's already changing. It's gonna continue to change. It'll be like. By the time I'm 50, like, soccer is gonna be crazy in this country.
Do you think
by the time I get to have a kid that plays soccer, it'll be crazy.
Do you think within the next 5 to 10 years though, it'll be like within the top 3 sports, it'll take over baseball?
I don't know. I would have to look at the stats and see like how many people play baseball and stuff. I don't even know. I feel like it's up there though. I don't know about if it's more popular than baseball though. But I think soccer in general in the U.S. has just been on the rise like crazy. So it'll just continue to get better. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm just excited to see what happens in general with everything. And I know you're excited to see what happens with everything.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of being excited, you know, we got a lot of things to be excited for with the Shoot It Straight podcast.
For sure.
We got a lot of interviews coming up in the future. We got a lot of stuff coming. We're just going to continue to work. Anything else you would like to touch on?
I'll be out next episode.
Oh,
most likely,
yeah.
Saturday.
That's a good one.
I'll be going to North Carolina.
That's a good one.
To visit family.
Yeah, so we might be having some guest hosts coming on the podcast. We're gonna be working that out, but Blue will be back the next episode after.
For sure.
So we'll figure that out.
And hopefully
we'll have the interviews.
Someone to interview.
Hopefully we'll have the interviews locked in by then as well.
Sure.
But we'll continue to provide y'all with the best content, and you'll find out more updates on that on social media, on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. You know, the Instagram. You know, comment on the YouTube video. Let us know what y'all thought about what we talked about, and you know, like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, and follow Blue. And you know, you got anything else to say?
No, I think we're good.
Man, with all that being said, man, thank y'all for checking out episode 3 of the Shoot It Straight podcast. Yeah, we'll see y'all soon for episode 4.
Sure.
Peace.
Shoot it straight.
Yeah, let's shoot it straight, man. Peace.
Peace.